Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this RNN webinar. I think the third this year. We've had lots already and lots to go. My name is Lucy Barnwell. I am the Director of Marketing and Learner Recruitment here at the RNN Group. Tonight, we have a webinar purely based on higher education opportunities in Rotherham. And there's a huge amount to talk to you about. We are not going to be presenting tonight. We're going to be having a discussion, and I've got two experts with me from within the group. Firstly, I have Keith Sanderson, who is our Director of Campus for Rotherham College and University Centre Rotherham. Thank you, Keith, for joining us tonight. And I have Cheryl Martin, who is our Director of Academic Standards and Quality. So between the both of them, we have a good expertise here to talk about higher education opportunities, the quality education that we provide here at the RNN Group through the higher education courses we offer. I have a list of questions that I'm going to be putting to the panel tonight to answer those questions that I have been finding out on the internet. What are the top questions that are being asked about University Centre Rotherham and the questions you are asking locally about what we provide? So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the first question, which I will direct at Keith, if that's all right. Keith, so University Centre Rotherham, can you tell me more about this facility, its history and why it was built?
Yeah, absolutely. So good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. I hope you enjoy it and find it informative. So the University Centre Rotherham is a purpose-built higher education facility, which was built just over 5 years ago. And it's an open, spacious, really prosperous adult environment, which lends itself to higher learning, higher education, higher skills. Within the facility, we've got some amazing technical facilities and academic facilities, which will support students on their journey. And part of the reason behind the opening of the UCR was it's quite a challenge. University and higher education perhaps feels a long way off for some people, and it's quite hard to reach. Now, by opening the University Centre Rotherham, we want to give our local residents and people local to us in the region the opportunity to study at home and not incur the huge university bills, and it's a tough time at the moment with the cost of living. So this benefits our local area and the region and offers higher education for our progressing students.
That's great, Keith. So one of the biggest things I want everyone to understand is that this was built for you guys locally. This is really important to know, that we wanted, and the local groups wanted in the local area, to provide a higher education centre to support our local community to achieve those higher education offerings and feel like you could enjoy that higher education course, because everyone has that right to be able to access education, and higher education especially leads people to real achievement and success. And that is really important to us here at the RNN Group, and a really important part of why the University Centre Rotherham campus was built. So yeah, thank you, Keith, for that. Cheryl, so a lot of people, when I talk to them, don't have a clue about where it's located. And I also get, this is one of the top questions I get, does it have parking? So location and parking, if that's all right, Cheryl.
Absolutely. So the University Centre Rotherham is based in the centre of Rotherham. It's on Doncaster Gate, which is a busy part of the town centre. It's not far away from the main Rotherham College campus, just up the road, in fact. And it's got shed loads of parking, and probably got one of the best sets of parking for all the college campuses in Rotherham. As Keith said, it's a purpose-built centre for higher level study and some adult provision within the RNN Group. And something else that's really key in terms of where it's based and how it's been built is the fact that there's facilities for large groups and seminar rooms, and there's an outdoor amphitheatre. But a key strategic priority of the RNN Group is to offer very bespoke support for the students who need it. So a key strategic priority of the group is to offer class sizes that are smaller than the norm for normal HE courses. And so we do have smaller spaces within the University Centre Rotherham for one-to-one support, for pastoral support, and for small group settings.
That's a really good point you've mentioned, Cheryl, because I think a lot of people choose the University of Rotherham because it feels more small and people feel they're not going to be sort of lost in a huge space. And that we have this what you call close community universe centre for people to enjoy a warmer and to be able to access that learning directly with tutors through one-to-one offering as well. That's all a huge part of what we offer, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And as Keith said, the UCR has got brilliant facilities. We've got digital suites, we've got art studios, we've got recording studios. We do have a seminar room. As I've mentioned, we've got the outdoor amphitheatre as well. But then again, we do have the small spaces where students can go and they can book for independent study if they want quiet areas. But they typically learn in groups that are smaller than the average HE group size, and that's why we get very good achievement.
Amazing, thank you for that. I'm going to direct this one to you, Cheryl. So we had a question about proper degrees. I'm going to ask you about that as Director of Quality. So do we do proper degrees?
Yes, we do proper degrees. We even do proper master's degrees as well, Lucy. So the offer that we've got spans from level 4 right through to level 7. So if you talk about level 4 qualifications, we're typically talking about first year of a degree, an HNC, a foundation degree, a certificate in education, or a certificate in HE. And we do level 5 qualifications, which are HNDs, or second year foundation degrees. We do full BA, Bachelor of Arts, and BScs, Bachelor of Science degrees across a range of subjects from digital and computing through to some of the arts subjects, through to teacher education and PGC qualifications in the teacher education curriculum. And we also do a level 7 master's degree in education professional development. In addition to those proper degrees and master's degrees, we've also got quite a growing range of higher and degree level apprenticeships spanning business and management, healthcare, construction, and health and social care. So yes, we do proper degrees and we do some of the non-traditional HE qualifications such as the HNCs, HNDs, and new for this academic year is the HTQ qualifications that we also offer.
That is fantastic. There's a huge range for people to choose from. And if you are confused by all these different courses and don't know which one's right for you, actually the RNN group have launched very much this week a new page on our University of Rotherham website, which gives you information on each of the courses and which one would be right for you, including your next step. So have a look on the University of Rotherham website and find out which course is suited to me. Brand new page we've launched this week. Thank you for that, Cheryl. There's a lot of choice for everyone. I'm just going to expand and ask Keith a question on one of the areas you talked about. So we do higher and degree level apprenticeships, which is great. What other skills-based courses, Keith, do we offer? And could you get a little bit more detail about them? Because I think there's a huge focus on the skills offering. I know that there is in South Yorkshire, but that actually adults are looking for practical skills courses they can do to develop their careers.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's several key priority sectors where we've got significant skill shortages across the region. And part of the RNN Group's offer at the University Centre Rotherham involves the high technical qualifications, which Cheryl's alluded to already. And these are skills based programs that have been written in conjunction with employers and sector leads so that our programs we offer can address the skills gap, which is hindering areas such as manufacturing, construction, and healthcare. So the skills that you're learning on these programs are the skills that you're going to need when you go into employment. So the ultimate goal is that we put you into a position where you leave with a high level qualification, but not just an academic version of that. So you'll still have the academia attached to it, but you will develop the necessary knowledge, skills, and competencies to excel in your chosen workplace. So some examples include engineering, where we have the higher technical qualification, which spans across mechanical, electrical, and general engineering, which also maps across into the higher apprenticeship. So we offer the higher apprenticeship, higher skills in engineering. Recently, we've launched in construction the site supervisory high technical qualification, which is a program for those individuals that have been working on construction site in a variety of different trades, and they're looking to take their next step up into management. And future plans include high national certificates in construction around the use of modern methods of technology and modern methods of construction and green and sustainable construction. We're in healthcare. We have a healthcare offer that spans the University Centre Rotherham and Dearne Valley College, where we've built a state-of-the-art health suite, and we can offer high-level clinical skills which enable you to move into a more prosperous role at work. So lots to go at, lots to choose from. And again, just to reiterate what Lucy said, if anyone is struggling with which course they think is right for them at this time, then just please come and talk to us.
Thanks, Keith. That is incredible to have all those courses in one space, actually, for the people of Rotherham. So everyone listening, you've got lots of choices out there in terms of your next steps at level 4 and above. We could, Cheryl, I know I have had a question about access courses as well. Would you just sort of elaborate on access courses and how they can support you entering level 4 qualifications and above?
Absolutely. We've got a range of access to HE courses at level 3, which, as you've just said, Lucy, supports that transition from further education or from adults entering education for the first time after a number of years that want to get into or want to progress onto a higher level course. So we've got access to HE provision that is delivered at each of the campuses that make up the R&N group. So access to HE provision is delivered at North Notts College, at Dearne Valley College and at Rotherham College, as well as at the UCR. And the benefit of having that provision delivered by the UCR is to get the learners kind of familiar with the environment, familiar with the tutors, familiar with the services that we offer via the UCR, so that they can make that progression into HE very smoothly. The biggest cohort by far of access to HE provision that we've got is in the health and care sectors, so access to HE, and we've got a number of different pathways that's available to students from access to HE, but we are growing that provision, and we are looking to open up access to HE provision across computing and digital. In fact, we've already got some, I believe, planned from an esports perspective, and we've got some access to HE in some of the creative industries as well. And as a college, that is it's a very important provision to us as a college, as to address the skills gaps of to support the addressing the skills gaps of the region that Keith has just alluded to really support those adults in particular, but those students who might not necessarily have the entry requirements to access HE at this moment in time. And it provides them with a strong kind of platform, a recognised level 3, which is equivalent to A level, a recognised level 3 qualification that will allow them to access higher level study at the UCR or within other HE institutions, if that's the route that they wish to choose.
That is incredible. For everyone listening, this is really important. So if you think it's your time to go back to university, but you're faltering because you don't think you have the right level 3 qualifications, come and speak to us, because these access courses are here to help you get the next step that you need. So please do come talk to us.
Sorry for interrupting, Lucy, but something that I didn't mention is the fact that for adults who might not necessarily have the entry requirements, we also, or are on access to HE courses, we also support them to develop their literacy and numeracy skills as well by offering them access to GCSE, specifically GCSE English and Maths qualifications, which you usually find are prerequisites for a lot of higher level study. So a lot of the adults that study access to HE will also have access to enrolling on formal qualifications to gain GCSEs or equivalent in English and Maths to improve their literacy and numeracy, so they've got those entry requirements as well. I apologise for interrupting there, but I think that that's really, really important because it's another kind of strategic priority of the RNN group to really make sure that those adults, those young people within the region who want to develop those very, very key skills are offered the opportunities, as many opportunities as possible to do so.
It's also worth adding to that, Cheryl, that should you be someone like me who retrained later on in life, they're really useful courses for those that have been out of education for a period of time and may feel as though it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get back in. Equally, however, it feels as though it's an additional year that you know you may have to pay for. But what a lot of people don't know is that with the access to HE, if you then progress into an HE program afterwards, then you are eligible to recover your fees for the access program. So it becomes a really affordable solution for those that are really looking to get back into education and progress into higher education.
That is incredible. There's some great opportunities available, certainly. Keith, you touched on this at the beginning, and I just want to ask you a question specifically about state-of-the-art facilities available in the building and specialist course facilities. Would you just tell the audience what is available at the UCR to support them with their courses?
Yeah, so for anyone who's familiar with Rotherham College, it used to be known as, by a different name, Rotherham College of Arts and Technology. And the arts has stayed with us. We're a very creative college, and as a result, part of our university centre is dedicated to the creative subjects. So there are art studios, there's media and photography studios. As Cheryl said, we have an amphitheatre, an outdoor amphitheatre, which is absolutely fantastic. And we've got as much creative space as you can imagine to those studying that subject, the freedom that they need to excel and to manage the projects that they would be looking to attain throughout level 4, 5 and 6. Further to that, we have high-level digital suites which consist of the latest computer-aided design technology. So for those that are interested in engineering or construction, and particularly on the design elements, we've got computer-aided design throughout the building. The building itself is quite magnificent. If you haven't been, I would suggest you go along and have a little tour at one of our open events. But we've got large library spaces, large study areas, specialist lab spaces for certain subjects, and we continually invest in our curriculum areas so that the facility that you're working in is as close to industry as we can possibly simulate. So all high tech, all state of the art, and all there for you to learn on.
What I would also like to add to that, if I may, is a golden thread running through all the provision that we offer is the employability skills that we support our learners to develop. And yes, we do have all those excellent facilities at the UCR, but what we've also got is outstanding links with employers and industry partners. And so therefore, those links offer additional opportunities for learners to develop their skills. So for example, in the creative industries, we've got outstanding links with Rotherham Civic Theatre, which is just a stone's throw away from the UCR. We've got links with the theatres and radio stations in Sheffield. We've got very good links with engineering employers within the region, which gives students the opportunity to use state-of-the-art machinery that we might not necessarily have at college, thereby developing the skills. So we work with our employer partners very, very closely so that learners develop the skills and the knowledge of working in industry. And that is a golden thread running through all of our HE provision that is consistently recognised via student surveys, both internal and external.
Thank you, Cheryl. That's a really good point to raise, that it's important that there are those links with employers locally. So it's not just what you learn in the class, there is a practical element and links to industry to give you that practical support and development too. Just touching on what Keith said, we do have an open event at Rotherham College, which also includes University Centre Rotherham, on the 25th, the Saturday, the 25th of January, between 10 and 12 noon. So if you are excited by what we're talking about and want to come and see everything we're talking about, see our state-of-the-art facilities and our new construction centre that's supporting our HTQ learners too, come on down then, go online and book on, or just turn up on the day between 10 and 12. Thank you both for that. So we touched briefly on higher technical qualifications. Keith, would you just give a brief overview of HTQs to our viewers this evening? I think it would be really helpful to understand this new qualification that's come on in.
Yeah, I mean, I did allude to it previously, but it's written in conjunction with employers and sector leads. They are designed to provide students with the skills necessary for employment. Now, that might be whether you're already in a job, so you may be already an engineer and you're looking to take that next step, perhaps into a leadership role or into a design technician role. And the high technical qualification would give you that. Some of them are a replacement for what you may already know as a high national certificate or diploma, and I think we'll come on to those shortly. But again, yeah, the fact that they're written by employers gives you the assurance that when you do achieve that qualification, that you also have achieved enough skills to perform that job role. And they're there to enhance your future prospects, enhance future salaries and career development. But equally, they're designed to be accessible. So there's a variety of different delivery modes. There's some online delivery, some blended delivery, evening classes for those that work during the day. And you're thinking, well, how am I going to get to college? We offer evening programs. So other than what we've said already, there's not a huge amount to add other than the pathways that we offer in our high technical qualifications. We offer the engineering ones, which I've already discussed, around electrical and mechanical, construction site supervisor. We offer the professional practice for healthcare professionals. And within digital, we offer pathways in cyber technology, software development, and data analyst.
Thank you, Keith. And it's worth noting, if you're listening, that we do have places available for January starts in these areas. So if you are interested, do go on our website and have a look, ring us or email us, and we're happy to help with that. A question that I get asked a lot, Cheryl, going straight to it, is the cost. Obviously, people are price conscious nowadays. So do you want to talk to our listeners about the cost of an education at University Centre Rotherham?
Absolutely. The first thing that I would say is that studying a degree at the University Centre Rotherham is substantially cheaper than studying at some of the more traditional HE institutions. So typically speaking, a full-time degree would cost £6,900 if it was a full-time programme. That's as opposed to £9,000, which is what a lot of institutions charge. So £6,900 for a full-time qualification, or £3,450 for a part-time qualification. There are some exceptions to that, whereby some of the postgraduate certificate in education and certificate in education programmes that are validated by our University of Huddersfield partner, they are £7,600 for a full-time programme and they are £4,750 for a part-time programme. But in the main, it's £6,900 for full-time, £3,450 for part-time. You can, you obviously apply for student finance to get the, if you wish, to get your tuition paid. And we also offer a range of bursaries and financial support for students who require it.
That is amazing. And I was talking to finance the other day, actually, because it's something that a lot of people ask. You can actually pay your fees monthly, so everyone knows that. So it's not a lump sum. There are monthly options available because we all get paid monthly. And a lot of our learners at University Centre Rotherham are still working, and it's really helpful to know that it's not a lump sum up front, which can be very difficult. They are their monthly payment options too. So that's really great. Thank you, Cheryl. Keith, please add
I
value.
would just add into that as well. Cheryl's talked very, about the degrees. We did discuss some of the access and the pre-access programs that we offer as well. Some of those programs are actually fully funded, so they won't cost you anything. So if you are sat there thinking, I really do want to get back into education, but that sounds like a really large financial commitment, and I don't know if I'm ready, and you wanted to study on one of our access programs, they are potentially fully funded for you.
That's really worth noting. Thanks, Keith. Another question, which I think you started to allude to at the beginning again, Cheryl, just like Keith did, is about our general facilities in the University of Rotherham, because I know you're based there, so you know what's available for our learners. Do you want to let the potential learners in our audience know what they can enjoy when they're studying at University Centre Rotherham?
Absolutely. And I think it's worth noting that some of the additional support services that we offer actually can commence prior to the course starting. So we recognise that the jump from level 3 to level 4, or from A levels to degree qualifications, the academic writing aspect of it can be quite daunting. So we offer academic and academic writing and referencing support via the summer months to prepare students for the kind of September period when the courses start and they get straight into assessment mode. So we offer quite a lot of academic support. We've got a number of pastoral and wellbeing support services that are available to all our learners. We've got bursary support and hardship funding for those learners who are experiencing financial difficulties. We've got a wide range of health and wellbeing support. We've got counselling, we've got welfare support. We have support with applying for student finance. We have support with opening bank accounts for those students who might need it, and we have wider support for families who of students who require it. We've got a dedicated careers information, advice and guidance support for HE learners and those progressing onto higher level education. And then we've got the personal development and enrichment support. So we've got a wide range of clubs and additional activities that students can choose to take part in should they wish, that enhances their studies. So we have lots of trips to theatres. We have some overseas trips. We have day trips to London. We've had them to Harry Potter World. We've just taken some trips to some students to Manchester Airport. I could go on and on and on and on of various different things that we do. But what another golden thread that is running through our provision is employability, but it's the additional support and the additional activities that we provide to our students that develops their skills, that develops their cultural capital, that supports the students, some of them to travel outside of the region for the first time, some of them to travel outside of the country for the first time, and specific financial support for the students that are taking part in overseas trips. We've even helped them apply for a passport and even fund a passport. So I've kind of, provided a lot of examples there. We have a Freshers' Fair at the beginning of the academic year, whereby we have lots of employers coming in to speak to the students about part-time work and about various things that are up and coming around the Rotherham and the South Yorkshire and North Nottinghamshire areas. And those activities, they start, like I've said, they start prior to the course and they continue throughout the until it finishes.
That is incredible, Cheryl. I think it's really important to recognise, everyone, that it's not just what you learn in the classroom. There is a lot more to your learning environment here at University Centre Rotherham, and the enrichment opportunities, the financial support, the wellbeing opportunities are incredible. So there is all the support that you need to make the most of your time with us and to develop your skills and to come out feeling you are equipped, ready to achieve your dream job. So that, Cheryl, that was amazing. Thank you ever so much.
Yeah, I would just like to add there, Lucy, and I'm getting a bit technical here, but every single year there's a national student survey for higher education students, and we get the students to complete it every single year. And something that comes out very, very, very high within the University Centre Rotherham is the health and wellbeing services that we offer, and our satisfaction scores for those services that we offer are often higher than some of the traditional universities, who have actually come to us to ask for help and support on how they can provide their services and how they can get closer to the students and offer the wide variety of support that we offer. So, you know, we do offer it, and I know it's easy for me to say that we offer it, but the students access it and the students really, really value it. And that is often the difference in between a student remaining on their course, passing their course, and passing with a really good grade.
Well, we hear that at some of the speeches some of our students give, that the additional extras that they get are hugely valuable. So we know that that is a huge part of the offering that we provide here at University Centre Rotherham. Thank you, Cheryl. It's worth noting we also have on-site facilities, including a cafe, so you don't have to go and get your coffee or your lunch. We have a library, we have quiet study spaces, and we have a business centre. So if you're thinking about starting up a new business, want some support, we have a business centre dedicated for that as well. So thank you, Cheryl. A question I had that something I've heard and that someone was speaking to me about, Keith, were HN Flex and HN courses. Would it be possible for you to just let our viewers know more about those?
Yeah, absolutely. So HNs, or they are more often known higher nationals, come in certificate or diploma form, and they are assignment and project based qualifications which give you the knowledge and capability to excel in the job role, to enhance your knowledge of a sector, and allow good career progression. They are commonly associated with higher apprenticeships, and that's where they are well recognised by construction organisations, engineering organisations, and the health sector. Recent developments, and it comes back to accessibility and understanding of different people's needs and people's preferred methods of study. But the latest development in HNs is the HN Flex, which allows you to take time to complete a qualification, complete a set of specified units that aren't necessarily a full qualification, a full HNC or HND, but they are stepping stones which you can use to build up over time, over a longer period. So if a standard higher national certificate takes 12 months to complete on a full-time basis, it may mean that you wanted to do that, but over a longer period. So you collect units over as long as you need, basically. If it takes 5 years, that's how long it takes, dependent on your personal circumstances. They're really cost effective because you can break up the cost of your actual qualification. And a lot of people are going to be using them to upskill on specific parts for their job role. So it might be that they're performing a job role in a salon, for argument's sake, and they actually want to move into management of that salon. So they could do a HM Flex unit in business around leadership and management, which is really cost effective. It's still accredited at level 4 by the awarding organisation, and it's in effect a bite-sized higher national certificate. For a lot of people, for someone such as myself, a family, a full-time job, the idea of studying a full-time provision or where you're committed every week might not be too appealing at the moment. It might be 2 years away for somebody like me or somebody like one of you who's listening. Now, the thought of being able to do it in bite-sized chunks at my own pace is really appealing, and I think that will appeal to a lot of people. And I think it's a fantastic move, and it's a brilliant thing that we're setting up here at the college.
And that is incredible. So people can still work. They don't feel overwhelmed by a full-time or even a part-time degree. It's this flexibility that the university is offering prospective students to be able to complete educational offerings at this level at their own pace, which is really important because we recognize that people work. It's, you know, people have to live. but they also want to achieve success, and they need, in many cases, an educational course to be able to help them do that. So this is phenomenal. So thank you, Keith, for that. Cheryl, I think you wanted to come in there.
I did, yeah. And I am exactly the same as Keith. I didn't go to university straight after school. I went down the non-traditional route. And I wasn't working when I went and did my higher level study. I was actually on maternity leave. And I went and did an I National Certificate and an I National Diploma. And I found it, my baby was 6 months old when I enrolled on that course, and I found it very, very difficult juggling that all the different commitments that comes with that that came with the period of that time in my life. And if the HN Flex provision had been around at that time, I absolutely would have bit the college's hand off to have enrolled on that qualification rather than a full HNC, because although it would, as Keith said, would have taken me longer to get the qualification, it would have enabled me to the work-life balance that or certainly the child life balance, I suppose, that I was seeking as part of having my career break. It would have enabled me to have managed that a little bit better than I did at the time. So I don't think that what I'm trying to say quite clumsily is that HN Flex is not just for working people. It's for those that are wanting to return to study. It's for those that might be on maternity leave. It's for those that might be on a career break. It might be for dads who have decided to take a period of absence after having children. It could be for anybody at all, but it's just very flexible, very agile, and very cost effective. And I absolutely would have taken advantage of that had that been available when I returned to study.
So you heard it here from our Director of Academic Standards and Quality. It is the thing to do. So consider that when that comes out. Have a look at our website. What we're trying to do is give our local community members every opportunity to take advantage of a course and be flexible and supportive and relevant to your needs. So do check out our website and find out more. Thank you, Keith and Sharon. Do I get a graduation? Cheryl, do you want to answer that one?
Yes, you most certainly do get a graduation. We have a graduation ceremony every year. It's usually held sometime in November, and you will be able to, you will go through the whole of the traditional graduation experience. You will have a cap and gown. Your family and friends will be able to come and watch you graduate. We have had in the past a variety of really inspiring guest speakers, some from the arts, some from commerce, some from sport. And for the last couple of years, it's actually been held at the Rotherham United Football, the New York Stadium, Rotherham United Football Stadium, within their conferencing facilities. I'm the compere of the day. I might be biased, but well, I usually am anyway. I might be biased, but I just think it's a wonderful day that we have. We work with a range of validating university partners, and they all come because they're really, really proud to see our students graduate. Most of our exec and senior leadership team are there, as well as the tutors who actually do teach the graduates. They all look incredibly smart when they're wearing their beautiful cap and gowns. And it's just an amazing celebration of an amazing set of students that have achieved fantastic qualifications and results. It's one of the highlights, I think, of our year.
It's worth noting that everybody who does whatever course comes to that graduation day. So it's totally inclusive, whether you've done an HNC or an HND or a full degree, a master's. It's really important, as well as higher and degree level apprenticeships too. So yes, it's a fantastic day. Thank you, Cheryl, for that enthusiasm, because it is wonderful. Keith, UCAS application deadline is coming up in 2 weeks and 1 day, 29th of January, everyone. Do our prospective students have to apply through UCAS, or can they apply direct to us?
You can apply direct to us and we will be happy to receive your application. So, as Lucy said, we've got an open day coming up. I think come and have a look at what we have to offer. Come and talk to our tutors. Come and talk to our HE teams. They will guide you, get you the information for the program that's right for you, the thing that works for you, that's going to work for your work-life balance, your life balance. And it's the best thing to do is just to come and speak to us, and we can help you to apply. We can support you through the process, and you don't actually have to go for UCAS.
Brilliant. And save £28. That's always helpful too. So yeah, thank you,
It's the same
Keith.
thing.
Indeed. So just to remind everyone, our open day on Saturday, the 25th of January, between 10 and 12. Come and see us. If you're worried about coming on an open day, you want a more personal tour, email us. We do personal tours. We can speak to you one-to-one, talk with a tutor. And we even are trialing taster days in the arts. So if you're looking for media and photography, we are trialing taster days with them. So come on and have a go at that as well. So there's lots of opportunities for you. So really, that's the end of the questions that I have been asked. So it just leaves me to ask Keith and Cheryl, Keith first, to just give me one little bit of a piece of advice to our listeners about higher education, or a golden nugget, whichever you'd prefer, Keith.
I will go with the advice then, because my background was in the motor trade and I was an apprentice, and then I spent quite a lot of time working within the motor industry and felt that there was that ceiling for me, and that where do I go next? What do I do? And actually I retrained in association with Rotherham College, which is part of the RNN group, prior to the UCR being built. So I wasn't fortunate enough to get into that building. However, HE gave me the opportunity to reskill, to enhance my opportunities and change the life for myself and my family. And I absolutely would not be in the position I'm in today without higher education. So if you're considering it, I would say just get on and do it.
That is amazing, Keith. Thank you for that. Cheryl, would you like to now add a golden nugget or a piece of advice?
The piece of advice that I would give, and for somebody like me who talks a lot, it's very, very short, is you can do it. All you've got to do is apply.
Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Keith. You've both been absolutely brilliant. The questions have been really informative. The answers have been really, really helpful. It just remains for me to let everyone know our next webinar is this Thursday. It's an education and professional development higher education webinar. This is a lunchtime webinar, which you can attend if you'd like to. And our next set of webinars are during National Apprenticeship Week. National Apprenticeship Week is from Monday the 10th of February, and we have two webinars during that week. If you are interested in apprenticeships, whether you are interested in it as an employer, interested as a student, whether you're looking at level 2, level 3, or higher and degree level apprenticeships, do sign up for those. It remains for me only to thank Keith and Cheryl for their time tonight, and for giving their expertise to our viewers and listeners. Thank you both very much for tuning in and helping. And thank you to all our viewers and listeners for coming on into this. And we hope it's been helpful for you to get an understanding of higher education opportunities in our wonderful place of Rotherham. Thank you all very much, and good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.